So these are our piles. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. If you need to, just pause the video right now, just tap into the energies. And usually if you need to concentrate at this time, usually you feel a drawing or a colder one if you need help picking one, or usually you just know in your head, or maybe a number might come through, maybe you might see number 2. But if you need to, pause, sit with the energy for the full moon in Aquarius, and let's get into this video. Full moon in Aquarius messages for pile number 1. You chose amethyst. Amethyst is all about calming down. It's also touching, whoa. You might be stumbling at this time. You might be, there seems to be a needing to, tap into your communication at this time, pile number 1. There seems to be a sense of spirituality. There seems to be some difficulties in communication around groups at this time, I'm feeling. Once again, Aquarius is all about groups, and this energy at this time might be helping you communicate your truth and authenticity. This is also your third eye, so you need to tap into your trust. You need to tap into things. You might also need to be catching up on sleep at this time with the amethyst. And once again, this is a point, so it talks about a direction. So you might want to go watch my other full moon in Aquarius things, because there's definitely messages that could indicate okay, you really need to communicate something. You're holding back something, you're in a group. But that video might actually help you, because there's a lot of things that I'm picking up here that are going to be in that video. I might actually link it down below, I don't know, or up here. But definitely directions, knowing things, and you're stepping into who you are as a person. Who are you? What do you need to communicate at this time? Stepping into that is what I'm feeling. There's also in astrological things at this time, there's Venus in Leo, which is finding who you are, finding the love, loving, and tapping into that center. So your card is the Devil. Okay. The Devil is all about toxicity. There seems to be some sense of control here, I'm feeling, for this pile. There's a sense of what's controlling you. You seem to need to be starting to stand up for yourself, I'm feeling, for this pile, for the full moon in Aquarius. You're standing up for yourself. You've been an underdog, I'm feeling. And the Devil is also about karma, toxicity. You're being able to be pushed around. But I feel like your strength here is that you know how to deal with things calmly. That might be another message here, because this is a very calming stone. It's very peaceful. It's also very protective, so you might need to protect yourself from the Devil energies. People who just that's the best way I can put it. That there's no go zone. But the Devil is also Capricorn energy, and Capricorn and Aquarius both have in common is that they're ruled by Saturn, which is new boundaries. There's a calling for boundaries. There's a calling for restriction or restricting yourself at this time. I feel like for some of you, you've been in a bit of restrictive mode at this time, and it's because there's a lot of things going on. I'm feeling also for you, family coming through. This could be a message for family. There seems to be a sense of some chaos going on for you guys. But the Devil is toxicity, toxic bonds. It's Capricorn needing to set boundaries. So let's see what else we get for you, pile number 1. Messages for pile number 1 for this full moon in Aquarius. Full moon in Aquarius messages for pile number 1. What do we have for the full moon in Aquarius? 9 of Swords reverse. That's also a good sign. Queen of Cups reverse. Oh. And the 6 of Cups. So when I look at this, make sure you're not shutting off your, once again, this seems to be a message here. Make sure you're not shutting off your emotions because you don't want to worry. When we have this card in reverse, it tells me that the upright, it's Mars in Gemini, and when it's reversed, it tells us that we're not trying to overthink and we don't want to cause any conflicts within our lives. And it tells us that there's a calling for to not worry. Don't worry about what these people are doing, I'm feeling, for you. Don't worry about them, because they're going to get their karma. They're going to get their karma. I feel like there's a lot of negative reflections of who they are being reflected onto you. Like there's a sense of, oh, you did it, you did that, you are not, you, why did I say that? You're the bad person, you're mean. The Queen of Cups reversed, there could be, once again, a mothering issue or an emotional issue or some sort of control going on for this pile. You're giving into that last straw, I'm feeling, for you, pile number one. The Queen of Cups is also someone who's a water sign, so you'd be disconnected from a water sign at this time, or you're sick of maybe people coming towards you with your like issues or things like that, because once again, this is the feminine energy upright. It talks about you can come to me, you can go towards me, but there seems to be a block with that kind of energy when it's in reverse. And maybe you're stepping into that uncomfortability of, okay, if they want me, they can come find me. Six of Cups is a calling for the past or some sort of childhood or nostalgia. There seems to be something from the past you're not really worried about, and you're not really feeling some emotional things towards it anymore, or you're either just blocking that out too much, but there's some sort of calling towards the past. This actually feels romantic, I'm not gonna lie. So there might be some romantic things coming from the past for this pile number one. That might be your new redirection. I definitely feel like you need to go watch that full moon in Aquarius reading, because for this full moon in Aquarius, I feel like there's a redirection. Like I'm seeing like a roundabout. You go towards something, but you think you're going straight, and then you need to go back because you need to go get a park that way. That's kind of the energy here. You might find an old piece of jewelry, I'm feeling, for you, pile number one. But let's see what else we get for you, pile number one. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands. That's something you need to quickly stand up for, or setting a boundary. You're setting boundaries, pile number one. You're standing up for yourself. I think you've been ignoring that for a while. I think people have been taking you have been in like, you've been in, I don't really have the Hermit here, but you've been in hermit mode. You've been kind of away and trying to fight for something, but it's just turned kind of yucky, and you're sick of putting your emotions into something. And this is something coming from the past. The Knight of Cups, this is like, I fought for something, I stood up for something, and I didn't get the wish I desired, or something didn't turn out the way I wanted, and it's probably something from the past, and you're like, I don't really feel like I can emotionally invest in this. Ace of Swords reverse. That's regret. You might be feeling some regret around a situation. Once again, this sword should be upright, but there seems to be a redirection for pile number one. There's a redirection here. There's something you haven't said, or you haven't put your 2 cents into something here. The Knight of Swords, yeah. Knight of Swords in reverse is a very much a card of no one's telling you much. There's something, so it's a missing piece of misinformation that hasn't been said. And I feel like it's coming for you for this full moon in Aquarius, pile number one. There's a new piece of information, and it's giving me, I think it's King Arthur, when you have to pull that sword out. There's something that's, it's just gonna magically choose you. And it's going to be you, and you need to make sure that these things need to be clear, toxic people, your environment, so that the opportunity can come towards you, pile number one. So I'm going to quickly go get my oracle cards for you, pile number one, and I'll be back. Hello. Okay, I asked and set the intention to connect to this deck for full moon messages for pile number one. Pile number one, full moon in Aquarius oracle card. Yeah, you're changing. You're going through a transformation. Someone around you needs to have a reality check. Someone around you needs to have a reality check. Celebration, interpretation. I don't know that word. Events. There seems to be a little bit of romance going on here. Okay, be careful of people self-sabotaging your relationships at this time. Self-sabotaging your relationships, who want to interfere with your relationships. You have good things going on, and it seems like there's people around you who are having negative experiences going on that's really affecting you. Fresh, new spring, new start. You need to say goodbye to something, and you need to Start planting new things. There's going to be some new piece of information. Maybe that's what's going to end something, but you need to celebrate it. Prophecies, guidance, direction. You can hear me shuffling these cards. There's a calling for enjoyment. Who's suffocating your enjoyment, pile number one? Who's not being there? And some guidance, please. We have endings and beginnings. Once again, autumn. That's okay. These cards just flew. Autumn, these leaves, they're dying, they're ending. This, ending. As soon as you end something, you're going to have a brand new spanking direction, new pathways coming for you. So your guidance. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Your guidance, authority, credibility, and status. You need to make sure that who's there for you, who's taking credit, who's looking at you. It's time to put yourself in a power position. It's time for you. Once again, Aquarius is very much a boss, kind of, in their own unique way. Make sure your uniqueness is being there. You need to start saying things because someone is saying something to almost put it. It's like putting makeup on someone. Someone's trying to cover up who you authentic are. 11:11 on the clock. Someone is speaking for you. Someone is saying things and they're not true, and you need to start making sure you're taking credibility. 11:22 now on the clock. Crazy. You might want to search them up, but make sure you're standing up because you have a piece of information. You have something from the past that you need to say. You've been standing up and defensive, and there seems to be some toxicity or someone here that's no good for you. So also there's a little bit of romance. Hang on, what's going on for romance? 11:44 now. Romance. This one? Yeah. Rebirth, feasting, and joy. Once again, there's something from the past that's going to be rebirthed for you. Promise, pledge, contract. You might not want to be here at that time. That's being an uncomfortable situation. Hang on. This feels like his abundance, peace, and contentment. That's a shocking card. So that might be a bit of a shocker coming your way for you. But if you do like this video, I do have all my social medias down there. You can check them out. I will keep you updated with my business down there. I still need to figure things out because I got a new phone. That's why I've been away for a while. And I really hope you enjoyed these full moon and Aquarius messages for the collective and for you, and pick a card. And thank you for being here today. And if you did resonate with that, pop things in the comments. Let's connect at this time because it's full moon and Aquarius. That's all about community. And thank you for being here. Part number two, there's some shocking things coming your way. This is actually a really big piece of rose quartz. So there might be some Jupiter energy playing a part. I don't know why that came through. Like some big expansion. Oh, this kind of looks cute. They're going to match my nails. But anyway, rose quartz is love. It's tapping into your emotional state. It's connecting to your emotions. And it's a very loving, heart-based thing. And also some story behind rose quartz is Aphrodite. Aphrodite had a new lover, and then her ex, which I'm pretty sure is Aries, he's a war god, and he actually killed, I know, crazy, killed Aphrodite's new lover, and this is his blood. So yeah, so I don't know what's going on for this pile, but that's the intro. That's what's going on for this pile. Pile number two, some love things going on. You might actually, I'm seeing home, and I'm seeing someone building, and so there could be some home things going on for you at this time. Once again, I know it's Aquarius, but there seems to be a lot of Venus energy, so I don't know what's going on there. But you do have rose quartz, which is love, which is Venus, and all those kind of things. And Venus is kind of like Aphrodite a little bit. So you might be building, you might be setting new foundations for yourself at this time, or you know, making sure there's a new sense here. There's a new piece, and it's kind of like going on vacation. So you might be wanting to go on a vacation at this time. It's like going on a vacation and you're like, oh, this is so new, this is so refreshing. And once again, when you go there and you feel that new energy, it's really nice. So the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. You might be, yeah, you need a vacation. Once again, Knight of Pentacles reverse is maybe it can talk about a block in movement. I'm not gonna lie, but once again, the energy of this is, okay, we're getting serious now. there seems to be something that failed, I'm feeling with this card. There's something that failed, but in the end, it ended up really, really good. Nine of Pentacles reverse is like, you've lost patience with something, you don't want to deal with it anymore, you don't want to move towards it, you're sick of being patient, you're sick of doing this, and you don't want to move in that direction anymore. Also, it can tell us that you want a bit of a fun time, because Pentacles in reverse tells us that we're not really grounded at this time. So if you feel like you need to go get some grounding, once again, there's a lot of messages in here that I got for my full moon in Aquarius. So I'm going to link that down below or up here. Definitely go check that out for mostly collective energies. But there seems to be a calling here for this pile of something that failed, but it's going to end up really good. So, full moon in Aquarius message. Whoa, full moon in Aquarius messages for pile number 2. Nine of Pentacles. I like this energy. You're a boss. This is Venus in Virgo. You're starting to get precise on what you want. You're starting to be hopeful about. You were hopeful about something, or you are at this moment hopeful about something. You might have chose pile number 1 because there's this big bird here that's distracting the intention being on you. Feels very much friend-based. There's this big bird here, and you're like, why is there this big bird here? Like, this isn't Sesame Street. We don't need no big bird here. And there's like this closed gate. There seems to be a message around here, like time to clear slate, because there's amazing. You need a clear slate because there's a new opportunity or a new pathway that's right there for you. It's like a semi-final kind of vibe. And also, her dress kind of looks really dirty and filthy. So you need to make sure you're cleanse at this time. Virgo was very much healing your relationships, healing your finances. There's a calling towards that at this time. But it's mostly independence. Temperance, you're sick of it. You don't want to be patient anymore, but make sure things are balanced. Make sure things are in harmony. Make sure you're at a sense of peace at this time. Maybe that's why you've been called to be a bit of alone at this time. There seems to be some frustration at this time around communities and connecting, because this is a kind of reconnection. You don't, also another message coming through, is you don't want to go back to the past. You don't want to reconnect with something. Some of you are going to be like, don't reconnect to that old thing. Whatever that is. King of Cups. Ooh. I don't know where. Ooh la la. But King of Cups is a card of tapping into that masculine emotional kind of energy. He goes after things that make him emotionally good. Does this make me feel emotionally good? Is this pure? There's a sense of purity, cleansing. It's kind of like this. I think this was a pile I saw the house with. You go get a new house and you're like, is this an updoer, or is this already completed and I don't need to do anything at all? So not doing anything at all is kind of like the purity. This doesn't have to do anything more work to it, because there seems to be a sense of, I don't want to put any more work into this. I want things to be done. And I think the universe is like, yeah, I want to send you something that's brand spanking new. I want to send you that. And King of Cups is a water sign. There's Sagittarius, Virgo energy. And King of Cups is a water sign. He's, yeah. You might have someone from the past. There's a lot of messages around this. Someone from the past that you just don't really want to connect to. But I feel like, once again, funny I said that, because I feel like there's confession coming your way. There's a clearing of, if there's been lies and deception, there's the truth coming to light for this pile. There's the truth coming for you at this time. Two of Swords is, you've made your choice though, and you don't want to reconnect to the past anymore. And you've made the decision to, it's like I knew. Wheel of Fortune. You're going to find people who are going to make you money, because look at all those, look, they're all working together in here. You might be changing job at this time or been thinking about that. Wheel of Fortune's money. We have these cards here. So we have the Hierophant reverse. That's family issues. That's not doing things the traditional way. You need to rebel at this time, which would make sense with the astrological things going on. It's rebellion. It's, once again, maybe you're moving schools or not wanting to, you're redirecting your learning career or something around learning at this time. Justice. The truth will be seen. The truth will be seen, and with the truth, there's a redirection and a new path coming for you, partner born. The Chariot, that's... If anyone reads tarot cards, you would know what this means. Hopefully. Depending on how far you are. The Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant reverse, Justice, and the Chariot reverse. Those are major arcana cards. And that is screaming, let go of people who can't commit to your abundance, and karma will be served. The truth will be seen for this pile. There's confessions and things. Don't connect to the past, because make sure things are in balance, because karma is coming for things, and anyone who cannot put up with your success, anyone who's not celebrating your success is going to fall away, because this is blocking success, and this is Libra energy, that's Cancer energy, this is Taurus energy, and that's fixed energy, which would make sense because we have a lot of fixed energy up in the sky at the time. What's blocking your success at this time? Is there fairness? Is there equality? Because karma is going to be served. Who hasn't been committing to you? Who hasn't been traditional? Who hasn't... There's something that around, like, the truth is going to be seen and karma is going to be served, and anyone who's getting in the way of your success is just going to need to be removed at this time. That's kind of the main energy here. Like, you're losing patience with people who can't put up with your bougie life. Once again, look at her. She's like, she's having a good look around the room, and she's like, who's gotta go? Who's gotta go? Who's interfering with my abundance? You over there. You're interrupting with my abundance. Karma being served. The truth coming to light. I don't want to connect with you anymore. I'm going to be independent, and I'm going to do this by myself, and I'm going to do it regardless. And I'm going to make sure I have the funnest time doing it. Make sure you're having hope for the future and shining, because once again, when you work on yourself, come here. When you work on yourself, and when you start to have goals and direction in your life, there's a sense of releasing when it comes to that, and a sense of removing what doesn't serve you. Two birds in the sky. A lot of birds and crows outside today. Anyways, back to this talk. There's healing sometimes means letting go of people who are still in that old cycles. And yes, you can see if they're old cycles, you know, be respectful, be understanding. But if people are getting in the way, then you need to start making the choice to be like, okay, redirecting the path. There seems to be a sense of redirection and path at this time. This is celebration. That's my floaty card. Celebrations and events. Ooh. Who's going to the Flash event? We have... Yeah, I think I said that before. Could be some family issues coming up here, because the Hierophant reverse can talk about that. But make sure you're not sticking in partnerships, especially romantic ones, like, because there's a sense of something being there that you want to gain physically or something like that. Make sure there's fairness, because there's a lot of babies here that needs to be taken care of, and I wouldn't be wanting to take care of all of them babies. Yes, I would love the babies, but someone would need to help me with that. You'll find your people. Just, it seems like you need a break at this time. Yeah. Sacrifice. offering and decisions. There's decisions being made for you at this time, and you're knowing what you want. And I think you'll know what you want, and you're sick of taking the normal route. King of Pentacles reverse doesn't take the normal route. When he's reversed, yeah, he takes the normal route. He's like, okay, I want the money, I want that. There might be something around like, you need to stop worrying about the money in your new adventure, in your path, because you know what you want, and you're going to be so abundant in that. That's not doing something traditional. Wheel of Fortune is good luck. The wheel is spinning in my favor. Might be some legal things going on. I see if there might be some legal issues going on with the family, and yeah, around money or something, and something unsuccessful. Could be like car issues going on for you at this time. Yeah. So what's your advice for this full moon in Aquarius? Protect, guardian, and champion. Protect what is about to be born, what's about to be built, what's about to be. Make sure you're staying, you're not going to a little bit mischievous. One more. That card keeps popping up. Authority. Start taking charge of your life. Start seeing who's not being there. Transformation, primal wisdom, instincts. See who's putting a mask on around you. Stop trying to fit in. Another Aquarius message that would make sense. Stop trying to fit in. You have something so valuable, so different, and at this time you're going to be so rewarded for doing something against the grain. So once again, the message is here. Have hope. Even though you might need to give up something and sacrifice something for the things you want, even though it's not normal, you're being directed that way, and you don't want to do things the old way anymore, pile number 3. And you're losing patience with people and surroundings at this time that just aren't getting you an understanding, which I kind of relate to. But I hope you enjoyed that full moon in Aquarius messages. All my social medias will be down here below, and you will be able to find the full moon in Aquarius probably on my little icon. Definitely this way. I think it's this way. Watch it not be this way, and I'll probably put something up here. But I hope you enjoyed that reading, and thank you for being here. Hi, pile number 3, and welcome to the full moon in Aquarius reading for this collective energies. If you want a more in-depth collective kind of overview of the full moon in Aquarius energies, I'll have a video up about that. And this is a pick a card in general, and I hope you enjoy this tarot reading. And tell me, what did you just choose, pile number 3, or did you choose more piles? Definitely leave a link, not a link, a comment. Leave a comment down below if this reading resonate with you, and social medias will be in the bio, a little description box. And thank you for being here. So the Ace of Wands. There's a passion you're reigniting with. That's also my card of can be a bit of loss. There's a lot of spotlight on you, I feel like. Be careful of needing a lot of attention. That's a lot of attention. You might need a lot of attention at this time. This is smoky quartz. This is also a point, which is not rejection. Interesting that word came out. Direction. There's a redirection. There's a sense of cockiness here, or that kind of energy coming through here. The tip is actually broken. Interesting. But smoky quartz is a protector. It repels against negativity, and it protects you. And yeah, that's technically it. It also helps in grounding. There's a sense of grounding. Once again, there's a lot of messages coming through here from my other video. So full moon in Aquarius messages for pile number 3. What's going on for you? You have a very, there's something different. Oh wow, Ace of Cups was just chilling there. Ace of Cups is a card of new emotional beginnings. It could be a baby on the way. That could talk about that. There's a feminine sense. I'm not gonna lie, this feels like romance. There's a new passionate start. and a new emotional start. So you might have to make some choices at this time. We have the Devil, Knight of Swords, and Knight of Cups. Those were those exact same cards that happened in pile number 1. I'm pretty sure pile number 1. Devil is toxic bonds. Knight of Swords reverse is not worrying about that, and my wish wasn't fulfilled. Don't worry about that, about your wish not being fulfilled, because it's kind of like there's toxicity and bonds going around, and you're being told don't worry about that because that it wasn't going to make you fulfilled anyway. So stop being obsessed about that. There's new opportunities here for you. There's good, really nice energy here. There's just a sense of, I don't know, there's some cocky energy here. I don't know which way she goes. Queen of Pentacles reverse. Yeah. Now I know why you're taking your time about something. Which would make sense because this is Pentacles. I now realize why I was like in between this. There could be someone around you that's not supporting you at this time. That could be a reason why it's in reverse, but there's a lot of money opportunities coming for you. So there's that. I mean, I'm telling you, the King of Wands, he's cocky, he's arrogant, he's out there, he's self-centered. What is this? Four of Swords is healing. There seems to be a healing around your self-image at this time. There's a calling for how you see yourself, which seems to be a lot of things going on in the collective at this time. Two of Wands is waiting, but I can talk about friction. There's a waiting. Okay, there could be a fire sign you just came from who's waiting to heal things with you, or you're waiting for something to be healed, but someone's just... King of Wands, clarify the King of Wands. Eight of Wands, coming in quickly. This is interesting with the moon. There seems to be some secrets or things that haven't been revealed, or some confusion around something that happened quickly that making someone look very self-centered. I'm hearing I'm not self-centered, so interesting. And I saw those birds before. Look at that bird. Interesting. So there seems to be some healing around some misunderstandings coming in quickly with someone, and you've been waiting for it. Queen of Pentacles reverse. Once again, you could be disconnected from an earth sign at this time, or could be an earth sign. I don't really know. What's going on for pile number 3 for the full moon in Aquarius for the collective? Full moon in Aquarius for the collective, pile number 3. Energies for pile number 3. The Hermit. You've been in Hermit mode. Could be a Virgo also. The Hangman is a sacrifice, or needing to look at things differently. And the Knight of Wands, once again, is arrogance or frustration, or someone who's very all over the place. Or there could be something also around needing to give up your passion at this time to be alone. Like there's an introspective, the Hermit's very wise and very knowledgeable and very mature. It's Virgo energy, so we're thinking of healing, and we're thinking of the Hangman needing to sacrifice something. You might need to look at your I can save you mentality maybe at this time. That's a message for someone out there. Or you're needing to almost more for this pile. What else? Someone's is releasing of a burden, that's a regret or miscommunication, something wasn't said. You need to let go of the things you didn't said. You're letting go of something and you're not saying you're part of something. There seems to be new starts but blocked movement towards them. Ace of Swords. This is an interesting reading, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards now. There seems to be a sense of full moon in Aquarius messages. Destruction, endings, final moments. You're giving something up, and I feel like it's because you've gained a new knowledge or insight, and it's probably maybe around a passion. This is fire, this is passion. This is also something that's very angry. You might be very angry around this time, or very irritated, or someone around you is very irritated at this time, and you're releasing some sort of burden, or you could be very burnt out at this time when I see the ones reversed. So you're burnt out about something and you're not having any more ideas about something, but I feel like there's new opportunities coming for you. There's a new passionate thing coming towards you. You might have been like, once again, it's giving me like an artist who's very stuck at this time. He's created these art pieces all the same, and he's, or like even a creative musician, and they need a new idea, and I feel like there's a new idea or a new pavement or a new wave coming towards you at this time. And it's giving me like, it's a Brittany. It's kind of like having someone trying to control you, and you're like, don't control me. Don't do that. Yeah. What did I say? This card has come out in all piles. Authority, credibility, and status. Something needs to be broken down within your status or how you are being seen at this time. There's a calling to this group to make sure that there's a redirection of your identity. And with that, it's kind of like a seclusion because you're not ready to communicate something to the world. What's going on for this full moon in Aquarius for pile number 3? Pile number 3. Just pulling some cards because this is really interesting, this pull. Containment, satisfaction, and security. That's a dream, but it's also kind of my card of being used for something you didn't want to be used for. Another card. And having hope. Have hope around your ideas at this time, because once again, a lot of the piles have a lot of similar energy. Have hope around changing and endings at this time, because there seems to be a healing around or a releasing of burdens, and I feel like you're stepping into like this feminine energy. You might want to search it up online because that looks very divine feminine to me. Divine femininity is all about letting things come to you, letting things flow to you, letting things just naturally come to you, and letting go of resistance. Once again, the Hermit, we have the Hermit here, which is isolation and wisdom. There seems to be something you're learning, or old patterns you are sacrificing at this time. There seems to be a sense around that. And wait, where's my cards? Let me, hang on, what's this card? Endings. Fail, illness, and transition. There's a lot of endings for this pile at this time, and you've been looking at sacrificing. You've been waiting for something to come towards you and heal, but there's a lot of peaceful new starts that are happening for you. And once again, there's that energy I got in the full moon in Aquarius mini clip, or another clip I did, which is a sense of, well, I forgot what I was talking about, but a new pathways. There's new pathways for you. So let me look at your guidance pile number 3. Okay, this card just, look, the Hermit's my cards. The Hermit's my cards. It's a Hermit tarot, oracle sandwich. Your advice at this time. Your advice for pile number 3 for this full moon in Aquarius. Advice for the full moon in Aquarius. Oh. Planning, patience, and cooperation. Interesting, because a lot of it was like, I'm waiting for someone to heal, but I'm also sacrificing things at this time. You're very angry, or very redirection of who you are, and there's a sense of being patient, but that's also my card of gossip, someone doing something behind your back, or seeking out someone who might not be good for you, or that's kind of the energy here. But she's very peaceful, but she's very smart also. I feel like your same cards coming out here. Destruction and an ending. What is your guidance for pile number 3 for this full moon in Aquarius? Full moon in Aquarius guidance. Same card. It's time to destruct things. There's an angry... Someone may have destructed something of yours. It's interesting. Readiness, bounty, plenty. Know that if someone... There's a lot of oranges, which is creativity. Rebirth, peace, and joy. Okay, there's a couple of ways you could read this. You wanting to go back to someone who was no good for you could be one thing, because destruction is you ruin everything. This is my smarty pants kind of card. This is a rebirth. It's also being put in a situation you don't want to be put into. Your energy or reading is very interesting for this full moon in Aquarius. But overall, be patient with someone if they're angry at this time. Could be another way I could read this, because you might want to rebirth with that person. But you might be changing who you are, or they're changing who they are. And there's something that may be hidden from you. Because that's kind of my watching card. 1 and 2 is new starts in partnerships. 31 is new social groups. 1 is new starts. There seems to be a lot of new starts for you happening, but a lot of change, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of old ways, and a lot of healing coming towards this group. There's a sense of healing and waiting for healing, but sometimes, okay, if you want to take this advice, you can take it. Sometimes we don't get a sorry, we don't get an apology, and we just have to, like, it's interesting how you would say this, like, forgive, just like, learning forgiveness. Maybe you might need to learn a bit of forgiveness in this group, even though I feel like whoever's chose this group they didn't do the right thing. Whoever this is. Anyways, so I hope you got a message out of that. Your reading was very different and very interesting, but it seems like, once again, surrendering, a lot of needing to look at things differently. Maybe you need to look at things, there's a sense of looking at things differently, paving a new path for you, pile number 3, and maybe someone's being a know-it-all. I'm not going to say who it is. Maybe you or someone else. Just take what resonates. That's all I'm saying. And if you do like this reading, this card, the Ace of Cups says peace, love, self-love. It's time to love yourself. It's time to start realizing that you don't need other people to love you. And you're starting to heal that, and you're starting to look at things differently, and you might be looking into how you maybe want to heal people or fix people, or there's a sense of calling to that. That might be another message for someone out there. But I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, definitely leave a comment down below. Tell me what's going on, what you're doing for this full moon in Aquarius, because it's all about community at this time. I will have another video for this full moon in Aquarius up. And once again, what else? You can keep on with my business on my social medias down below. And thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for tapping on this video, and I hope you have resonated. And once again, your energy was very mysterious, very, very not like a conflict kind of energy, but like a conflict kind of energy, in the sense of it's not a conflict, it's an irritation. That's kind of the best way I can say it. But I hope you enjoyed this reading, and thank you for spending your time. Have an amazing full moon in Aquarius. Remember to connect to your people, find who you are at this time, and bye for now.